Hey, 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 happy day. I was with a lady just the other day on an airplane, and she said to me, Hey, I know who you are. I watched some of your shows, and you're a son of a gun because I'm a liberal. And you say that I'm a socialist. There's a big difference between socialist and a liberal. I said, hey, come on, lady. A socialist is just a liberal in a hurry. And she got mad at me. Son of a gun. She couldn't toss me out. It was an airplane. I got more for you. I want to talk about two countries, the US of A and Canada. Let me start with the US of A. This impeachment nonsense that goes on and on. I got to tell you, Americans love the president. They all get it. They know what he's like. The bottom line is it doesn't matter if you like him as a person. You got to like what he's doing. And the Democrats don't even talk about that anymore. No longer do they say, it's not true that he's got 7 million jobs. It's not true that we're now the largest oil person or country rather in the entire world. They don't argue that anymore because everybody knows it's true. They've gone through all the stats and everybody has proven it up. It's true. The guy's a businessman. He's had a great approach. The country has never been so strong. It's the strongest country in the entire world. They don't need anybody. It's about America. Okay? So he'll get in again. And they're now saying, hey, I know, got caught again. We have no evidence for the impeachment. But you know what? He might do something bad someday. So we better get rid of him. They're relentless. And I think it's turned on them. I know it has. There's what is it, a rally, I guess. This guy gets more people coming to his rallies than the Rolling Stones, but there's a rally upcoming in, I think it's New Jersey, and more than 150 or 160,000 people have already registered. Wow, that's a lot of people. Oh, and they all come to listen. And he says the same thing over and over again, but he's got the passion and he's got the facts to go with it. And these left-wing wacko guys, they keep on fighting every day. I mean, why don't you go out and do your job? You're paid to do something. Why don't you all go and do it now? And they don't. I hope they get a shock in November, and I think they will. That shock will be that everybody will vote for them. The other day, I took an Uber in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I got talking politics with a woman, and I said people used to whisper if they voted for Trump. And she said, hey, I yelled that I voted for Hillary, and now I'm yelling that I'm going to vote for Trump. He's my president. And I said, what brought you around? And she said, this Nancy Pelosi and everybody every day, they keep on doing these things, attacking the man. Let him do his job. He only works an hour a day. Probably. And look what he's accomplished. And I said, hey, you sound like me. In any event, you know what? I hope that everybody is shocked right out of their shoes in November because you got to have the president for another term. Again, it doesn't matter if you like him or not. Look at the bottom line. Now swing over to Canada. Canada is a mess, right? In so many ways. There you have a commie guy leading the country and a commie guy that's not even that bright. And for some reason, like the Pied Piper, people are following him. People in his own party, and the mess just gets messier. So you should have someone to save the day. And that should be a party that has a great name, the Conservative Party of Canada, right? Sounds good, not so fast. I mean, it used to be the Progressive Conservatives, two words that mean two different things. Progressive, of course, is left, conservative is right. That's like a virgin hooker. I've used that term before. But it brings up a vision or an image because, of course, it's silly. And a lot of those progressives continue to be in the Conservative Party in Canada. Now they're looking for a new leader, and they're making it so onerous, so hard for anyone to run. They want a $300,000 deposit and a zillion names coming from a zillion different ridings. And now they're interviewing people and they're saying that you have to have opinions and views that match our party's opinions and views. This is a party that almost 70% of Canadians, all Canadians, have never, ever, ever voted for. And they continue to do liberal things, right? I mean, they should all be in jail for fraud. Those conservative people, most of them at least, because they're lying, because they're not conservative, they're liberal. And some say they're liberal light, they're liberal heavy. You know, but they keep on being themselves. And every time a right-wing person comes in with some common sense, they say, well, hold it, that doesn't match our policies, and everybody needs to think like we do. And that is a liberal thing. You're entitled to an opinion as long as it matches mine. And it's bad. And Peter MacKay now is finally throwing his hat into the ring, and he's a progressive. And the first thing he said in his speech, it broke me up. He said, elect me, and when I'm leader, there'll be more diversity. What does that mean? Who wants diversity? I mean, I don't understand it. I think that means you parachute a bunch of different colors into a bunch of different places. That's what the liberals do. So why do you want to do that? If people want to end up at a certain place, they'll do that on their own dime and their own time. And instead, he's saying, let me do it. Diversity? That's all you got? That's your election platform, diversity, multiculturalism. A woman said to me the other day, she said, well, if you ran, and I said, I've been thinking about it. She said, why don't you? And I said I would once. I'd write the check for 300 grand, and then I found out I can't be by money, and it's so complicated. I don't think that ever passed me anyway. And that's another story. But when you look at all of this, you analyze it and you say, maybe there's no bloody hope. I mean, maybe not, because they won't allow the party to be conservative. You need a new messenger. That's coming. But it's going to be the old school person who delivers the message that hasn't changed. And people don't care about the message. Duh, figure it out. All of you conservatives, you have to change. You have to stand for something. You need to do something different. You need to say something different. You need to be different. You need to be patriotic. You need to worry about the citizenry and stop this nonsense. Let me end this little rant with this. This is deep, okay? Very deep. A friend of mine, many, many years ago, he owned several car dealerships. And I went to him one day and I said, where's Frank? My friend Frank, he's a car salesman. He's worked for you for a while. Where is he? I fired him. Really? Why? Why did you fire him? He says, I've yet to see a car salesman sell a car to another car salesman. I had to process that. I finally got it. This salesman, Frank, he spent all day talking to another car salesman who in turn talked to other car salesmen, and pretty soon they were talking to customers and nothing was getting done and there was no action, right? Meetings were up, sales were down. That's what the government in Canada is like. The US too, for that matter. I mean, they talk to each other. They don't talk to the people, to the humanoids, the people that they work for. It's a little embarrassing. Hopefully it'll get better and somebody will run for the Conservative Party in Canada with a new position, but they need to get approved now. You have to make sure you go to a parade. Who would have ever thought that going to a parade, a gay parade, was criteria to run a government? A woman asked me that the other day. She said, if you ran, would you go to the gay pride parade? I looked at her and said, you're kidding me, right? That's criteria? I got to go to a parade? And she said, would you? I know I said I'd end it with, I'm going on here. One more thing and then I'll be done. She said, if you were running. I said, I'm not. She said, if you were, would you go to a parade? I said, you know what? I haven't been to a parade for 25 years because I'm busy. I run a lot of little businesses and I'm a busy guy. And if I ran a country, I certainly wouldn't go to 98 parades like the leader of the country did. I think it was 98 thereabouts, using government-funded money, taxpayer-funded government stuff, going coast to coast in airplanes and marching in a parade. I said, of course I wouldn't. And I said, oh, but before you call me names, I also wouldn't go to the Grey Cup game parade. I wouldn't go to the Santa Claus parade. So I guess if you're going to say I don't like gay people, I don't like Santa Claus, and I don't like cowboys, hey, y'all, come back here tomorrow. See ya.